Hello world and welcome to this tutorial. In this video I'll be talking about nesting. Yes, how we can perform nesting using Python dictionaries. Nesting is simply the act of putting one dictionary into another, or a list or some list of items into a dictionary. Now, to start with, I'll be using my Jupyter notebook as usual, and it is up and running. So I'll just need to open a new file for this, and I'll rename it to nesting dictionaries. Nesting. Let me name it as nesting dictionaries. Okay. Now I click on rename. Now that is done. It has named to nesting dictionaries. Now, like I said, it is when we are putting a dictionary or some dictionaries in another dictionary, or we put a list of items into a dictionary or dictionaries in a list, we are performing nesting. So I have three. I want to really demonstrate this. I want to use three countries as an example. We have in my list here, I have El Salvador, Spain, and Liechtenstein. The information about them we want to get is the population, the capital, and the language that each country speaks. So to do that, I will name each country as representing a dictionary. For example, let's say El Salvador. Salvador. Now the El Salvador is the one that this very one now is now our dictionary that will hold the information about El Salvador. And like I said, you define a dictionary with curly braces in Python. Once this is done like this, Python recognizes as we are defining dictionary. Now I start with the keys and value. Remember, dictionary consists of key value pairs. Now we say we want to know the population, the capital, and then the language that each country speaks. Now let's say the population, which is the key in this El Salvador. Let's say population, and we set the key to let's say about 6,267,000, and then separate it by comma from the next item or the next value or the next element in the dictionary. Now again, and the next key is the capital, so save that as capital. And the key is let's say, what is the key? The key of the capital of the El Salvador is San Salvador. Now we save that as San Salvador. Okay, let me read that as capital. San Salvador. Okay, San Salvador. And now we will now name it to. The next one is the language they speak. Okay, we name that language as our key, and then we now save that. The value of it is Spanish. Yeah, they are Spanish speaking country. Okay, put that in a variable, in a string, Spanish. Now this, we have defined a dictionary about El Salvador, and we have assigned it to the variable El Salvador, which is the country that we are talking about. The key here is the population, followed by this, the value of the key, which is this number, and the capital we say is San Salvador, and the language they speak is Spanish. Okay, now the next country that we'll define again is Spain, and again we name that as Spain, assigning the variable, the value of the dictionary. Since they are having similar information, it permits me to just simply copy this line and paste it. Then I'll edit some of the facts in it. So the population of Spain, let's change that. Let's change it to 46,439,000. 46,439,000, and then the capital is Madrid. So I'll change this one to Madrid. Okay, Madrid, and then we have, okay, I spelled that correctly, Madrid, and then the language is the same. They speak Spanish speaking language. Okay, and now the next country is Liechtenstein, and okay, Liechtenstein, yes. Okay, we have that Liechtenstein, and we now again, let me copy that here, let me paste what I've copied earlier here, change the population to just, there are 37,000. Okay, 37,000, and the capital is Vaduz. Capital is Vaduz, and the language is German. Capital is Vaduz. Okay, Vaduz, and the language is German. Yeah, German people. I say German. All right. Okay. Having done this means we have defined a dictionary. We have defined 3 dictionaries here now, and we want to see how we, like I said, we are discussing nesting. Now, how can we nest this dictionary? Now, I will create a variable since they are countries. Let's say country. Before then, please, I would like to send a note here that this information was actually taken from jw.org website, and it was published in the issue of Awake. This El Salvador information was published in the year 2014, and this Spain and Liechtenstein was published 2017. So this information here is just for demonstrative purpose. Please, there are some, like the population, some might already have been changed. So I'm just using it to demonstrate how we can actually work with the dictionary. All right, let me say countries and countries. Now we are saving these dictionaries. I define that as empty. Okay, empty dictionary here like this. Now this is our dictionary, and now we want to see that the key we are using here now will be this, each of these countries here, this one and this one. I will use it as the key. Now the first key there is let's say El Salvador. Salvador. Okay, yeah, El Salvador, and then the key is, we said El Salvador. The key is El Salvador. El Salvador, I'll explain that. Don't worry. Okay. Salvador. Now, what this means is we are defining a dictionary here, and this is the key called El Salvador. The value here, okay, there's a column here. The value here is El Salvador because we have defined this already as a dictionary. So it's the same thing as me copying this entire line and pasting it in this position here as well. If I do that, that is the same thing, that is also nesting it there. So, but to make things more simpler and for the visual beauty of it, so, and so for you to understand it very well, that's why I'm shortening it. I first define this on outside here and then bringing it here. Now the next one is Spain. We are telling the Python to create another key called Spain, and Spain, okay, and save the value as Spain that we defined earlier. The value, this dictionary that we defined earlier, that is Spain. And if you notice that is why I'm not putting it in a quotation mark. That is, this is not string, it is a variable defined elsewhere. That is why. So Python recognizes it as it is. Now again, the next one is Liechtenstein, and we have something like this. Okay, ASTN, and now this area is supposed to be in quotation mark. That is, it's a string, and then its value is Liechtenstein. Okay, the value is Liechtenstein. Let me simply copy that and then paste it here. So we are good to go. Now this is how we nest. This line is nesting. It has nested these dictionaries. Okay, our standard, that's supposed to be an equal sign here. Now what we have done here is we have defined another dictionary called countries that that is housing, or that is enclosing, that is containing these other dictionaries. This is just simply how to nest in Python. Now how do we work with this data? We want to see, okay, let me run this code and see if it's no error. Yeah, good, we have defined it perfectly well. So how do we work with this data? Now we want Python to print out each population and then the corresponding value, that is each key value pair in this dictionary should be outputted to us. And to do that, we can simply use the for loop. Like I see in my previous video, we use a for loop to work to iterate through items or through values in a dictionary. In this case now, since we are interested in both the key and the value at the same time, we'll be using the dot items method of a dictionary. So I'll say for country, that is, create a variable called country and another variable called country info, and then now country info in countries dot items. Okay, now this is it. This is the method. This method will iterate through the key and the value pairs in this dictionary, and then to output the next line of code for us. So of course there will be a colon here, and then when I hit enter, it's indented automatically because of this colon here. The next block of code will be indented under the for loop. So what do I want to achieve with this? I want Python to print to us that the subheading as facts about these countries. So I want it to like print first before we get to this information about the countries. We want to inform the user about, like, what we are doing is the facts about this country. So I simply say let me use format string here, and then back, and then in a new line, create a new line, then print facts of let's say fast facts about country, fast facts about country. Okay, yeah, I need to put it in square braces since it is been defined as a defined dictionary earlier, a defined variable earlier. So I'll put it in a dictionary and then type dot, and say dot title, and then okay, yeah, the title. This will be printed out to the user first before any other information that goes with it. And then on the next line, I will say that Python should create a variable called population and save population, and then save the value of in this our country info in it, which I will now say country ratio country info, which will now be country info yes, country info working with the population. Now then on the next line, when this is done, on the next line we'll do the same thing. We want Python to create a variable called capital, and then set its value to the country info. Let me copy this since I'll just be editing it here, and then v country info, this time around put in it the capital, copy capital in the dictionary. Then and again on the next line, let's say now is the language, create a variable called language, and then assign it the value. I paste that again, language, and delete that, then type language. Yes, now put the language there. So then, having done this, what we'll do next is now it will now print to us. We now have to print these our variables defined here. So we say print population, and then all those things. So let's say print print, and we want it to be in a tab, so we use the string format, and this in this way. Then we now say population. I'll explain all this code when I'm done. Population, and then it will now print the value of this population, which will now be, we'll now write it like this, called population. Okay, population. Yes. So now next we'll we need to enter this one here, and then on the next line we also want to print the capital and also the language. So let me simply copy it here and paste that again. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, I did not copy that well. I'll copy it again. Copy and then paste it here. Okay. What is this? Please pardon my Control C, and now I paste it. Okay, good. I'll simply change it to, okay, let me do this. I'll simply change this statement to capital, and then the next one to capital as well. Capital, and then this one will also be capital. The capital of the country, and then the next one will be, paste that again, sorry, and now it will be language, since it is the third information we are interested in, and this inside here will be language. Okay, now if I run this code, you see the output. Okay, good. Error, and what's that? Most times when I see an error like this, it is better for you to quickly go to the last line and know what kind of error it's talking about. And Python is very descriptive, and all the error will point to you down on which line is occurring. Now you say telling us line 9 has an error, and so let's trace line 9 here, and it's IF. Okay, supposed to be info. All of them here, and here my O keyboard. Okay, is something else. Then I run the code again. Exactly what we want is now here. Now you can see the information we were interested in each of these countries. You see how dynamic it has turned those countries to. Somewhere else we spell this value with lowercase letter, but each of them, the countries, their initial letter has been changed to uppercase because of the dot title that we included in our code here. This dot title is what changes this initial letter to uppercase letter. Now let me explain this very block of code, this for code here. Now, if you are familiar with for code, then this is very straightforward. If you are not, check there in one of my videos. I have explained that very well. What is in here? We are creating a variable called country that will store each of these dictionary, each of this key here, or each of these dictionary here in this country. Yes, especially in these countries. This is the countries we are dealing with. Then Python is creating a variable and saving this value called El Salvador. Each of the keys in these countries are being saved. Each of them is being saved in this variable called country. Then create another variable called country info, where you save each of these values, like this El Salvador, which is containing these dictionaries. Each of them is now being saved in this info. That's why we use the dot items. Then we now come to this line to say we want to Python should first print fast fact about each of the value in each country, and this is why you are seeing El Salvador and Spain differently here. And this is this line. This is this line. This line is as a result of this code here, and this is it. Then we now move ahead to create another dictionary called population. Another variable called population that store the country info population. This country info is containing each of these dictionaries, the population, the capital, and the language. And here is what we are having here: population, capital, and language. This is what each of this line is doing here. Finally, we now print each information out for us. This print out is as a result of execution of this line, and then we are seeing the output here like this. So I think this is well explanatory enough. If you need more explanation, you can put that in the comment box below, or any observation that you have, you can let me know, and then I'll respond to any observation or question that you have there. Now, this is simplest way we can name, one of the simplest way we can nest dictionaries. Here we have nested dictionaries in another dictionary called countries. We have nested dictionary like El Salvador, Spain, and Liechtenstein. That is 3 dictionaries we have nested in a single dictionary. Now, if we want to, we can also nest dictionaries in a list, and we can nest. We can also put dictionary inside a list, and we can put list inside a dictionary. Now, I'm going to explain the second one, which I said how we can nest list in a dictionary. Then, to nest dictionaries in a list, I will leave that as an exercise for you to do. So, to nest this one, let me create another data type, that is a list that we want to nest in our dictionaries. Now, let's say we want in a country that we have not been to before. Now, for us to get this fact, we assume we have been to these countries. So we want to see on our list. We want to see the next country we want to visit. Now, I named that variable as next country. Next countries that probably we want to visit. Let's say next countries that we may likely want to visit next, and then we'll put it in a list. Like first on my list here, I will say Germany. Let's say Germany, and now on the next item, let's say Portugal. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry. I'll put Portugal here. Yep. Okay. Then on the next line, let's say Argentina. Okay. Good. Any country of your choice, you can name that, or let me change that to Canada. All right. Okay, you can go ahead and provide other countries as much as you can, but here let me add the fourth one as USA. Okay, USA. Now we have listed 4 countries here in a list. In these countries, we want to demonstrate how we can also nest this list in our dictionary. Okay, what we'll do now is to just simply include it here as one of the dictionary here in these countries that we have defined. So we'll simply put these next countries here as a key. We'll create a key that will store it as countries, and then the countries. Okay, countries, and we set the key to next country as it is defined here. Let me simply copy that and paste it here. We'll set the keys now to next countries. Control V. Okay. Okay. This is not well descriptive enough, so let me change this to next country so we will know exactly what we are dealing with. All right. Here is how now we have included this list of countries on our for our next visit into these dictionaries. So what we need to do now is to simply see how we can work with it and make it to be included, to print it out just as this one is. No, so what I want us to do is, so obviously since we have not been to these countries yet, we assume we don't know, we don't have information about them, so we want Python to inform us that when it gets to these very countries, it will inform us that we have not been to them. Maybe message like next country on my list, or next country to visit. So what we'll do is to find a place here and then put it in this for loop. Then, so how to achieve that is what I will demonstrate next. Okay, I'll tap that in 2 places. So we'll see that when let me use this code and I'll explain it and then we see that if country equals to next country, if country equals compared with next country, I'll put that in quotation mark. Let's say next country. Sorry, next countries. What is that? If country is equal to next countries, then it should do the following. That is, it should print. Pattern should print in the. Let's also use string formatting. Sorry, I did that. This format. Okay, what's up now? F, and then yeah, to use this format, if in this, when it is has come to print the format like this, if in the next line it should just print next country on my list. give us next line. We'll have to escape that and then say next countries on my list. Okay, next countries on my list, and to now go ahead and give us what we are expecting it to do, which it should be. Then it now loop through this line. We say for next country, okay, next countries in next, okay, in next countries, next country in next countries. It should print to us, yes, should print, okay, should print to us the value of all these countries in the next country. So we'll simply say, again, let's use a format string because we are going to use a tab where it will now give us on another tab. So it now say next country. As the next country, and then after that you just simply ignore the, yeah, this should work. Now if I run this code, let me run it like this and see what happens. Let's see our output. Okay, error, list indices must be integer or slide or not great. Okay, where is that? That is line 15. Alright, let's trace that, what is happening there. Line 15. Okay, line 15, let's see, line 15 population, and we do this. Okay, yeah, good. The format here is not really correct, so we need to, like, when this is done, we need to continue before. Let's use a command, a loop command here, for loop command. Let's say continue and run that, see what happens. Yes, now we have our output that we want, but the tab is being outputted instead of it to be in another tab. So we just simply fix that here, which is a simple something to be. Oh yes, I did not precede that with a backward slash. Now I run it again. Of course, we'll now have a neat output. Sure. Yes, this is how we can also nest list in a dictionary. When Python is going through our dictionary and it come across anyone that we have not been to, it will give us a separate message, like as we did here. This is just a way of nesting dictionaries in dictionary and list in dictionaries. Now you go ahead and nest dictionaries in a list. For now, this is how I think this should be okay for you to go and practice it. And if you want to make these values align, 300 to be on the same line with vowels with German, there's a way you can do it. One of those ways, there are ways you can do it. One of those ways is to simply let me see what we can do here. Let's say we simply just make this thing align from here. Yes, bring this one here like this, and also let me do it like this. Now you can also make this one be on the same line. Now I run that again. Let's see what we've got. Yes, it's now better. Very beautiful. You see, they are now on the same line. So this is just all that we have for you now in how to nest dictionary, how to perform nesting in Python dictionary. Thank you very much. Please, if you have any observation, let me know in the comment box below. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends. Hit the notification bell as soon as you subscribe. Thank you, and bye for now.